Here we are for another episode of Pitch Practice, the show. Yes, we
Good
still
morning.
got it. Still got it. Good morning. I'm Mark, the guy behind the mental marketer and the private Facebook group, Funnel Building 101. That's what we do. And I've got my family with me here today.
You got Brandon here with BKXX Enterprises, getting your company found by fixing your digital foundation.
Getting you found. Uh-huh.
Getting you found. And hey, you got Laura Morales here. Some of my friends call me Inky Morales because I get you to the ink. Hey, I'm happy to help you find a great franchise solution to fit your financial goals and your goals in life. So kind of what I do. Super excited to talk to you guys today. We got some good points we're gonna make. Negative 10x versus positive 10x. So take it over to you, Mark.
10x. Well, everything isn't always about 10x. What we do here is we come together as a team to practice and practicing and closing, practicing and presenting, practicing and what else can we practice in besides pitching, Brandon?
You practice in life, really. Just make sure we're doing the right things, the ethical things, and keep each other accountable.
Yeah, yeah, ethical. Yeah, man. Yeah, I was we were all listening to some of Grant Cardone, and he talks about you should actually be practicing or doing some type of training every day. Not You should actually be doing some type of training and some type of uh routine, or going out there,
Morning.
if not practicing, actually putting yourself in those real life situations. But just meeting together with you all every week, it's a joy. So yeah, this week, yeah, so let's talk about, here we are, we're getting further on into the year. I'm at that end of the month time where I've actually looked back over my production so far in the year. Here we are. I've looked back on the production. One thing I noticed, I got to be honest with myself. You know, um, we were talking about there being this social media presence that everyone sees, and everyone sees this on social media. They put out this image that makes you believe everything is going perfectly, but no one shows, or no one talks about the down part, and there's typically down parts. So my production went down this past month, and I saw it in my numbers. uh I trying to I can't justify it really, because it's really excuses, but then I look at the past month, and uh, I've had okay, I'll tell you, I had refrigerator went out twice, called maintenance out to do it. I had unfortunate event happen with a friend. I had to order some new appliances for my condo unit. Those are all excuses. What do you say for excuses, Brandon? But
So,
I'm being honest with myself. I'm being honest with myself and telling myself that, hey, you didn't meet your numbers. I didn't meet my numbers last month.
well, it's good to recognize where you're kind of falling off and understand that what's happening are excuses. Um, Thing is, some things are unavoidable. We can't control things breaking; they just happen. So, as Grant says, control what you can control, and move on from it.
Yeah. And I know Laura, and I come on, it's like I don't have kids. You know, if I had kids and I was really
You'd be
stressed,
screwed. You'd be
yeah,
like, little Timmy's not going to school this week because we ain't got food to send. No, I
So,
think you just you hit it right where it's what Brandon said, you got to control what you can control. But I think it kind of goes to like, maybe that means I need to control more. What am I not controlling here? And I know I'm talking to myself again. Anytime I talk to you, I'm talking to my freaking self.
uh-huh.
I just keep reminding myself like the things that I need to control are I need to control more output, right? Because there are times where I'm like, just good enough. Like I did enough,
Mm-hmm.
and then you see your numbers, and it's like, F, I
Mm-hmm.
spent so much time doing this, and it yielded zero results. What is that one thing I need to change? Because I'm hitting high level volumes of reach out, high level volumes of talk. But if some of these aren't converting, something really wise that one of my manager, really the boss of the company, the owner of here
Mm-hmm.
my consulting firm, he's like, you got to stop beating your leads. He's like, the faster you let go of the suck leads,
Mm-hmm.
the just he's like, I don't care if you have 100 leads or 5 leads. It's which ones convert. And he's
Mm-hmm.
like, if you have all these leads are just never going to convert, don't be so hopeful. Be willing to just not care. Let it go. I'm like,
Uh,
okay, that's like a new level of thinking, right? Don't beat it up. Don't beat the lead so much. Just be willing to dump it. He's like, you're better not talking enough to them and fishing again.
nice, nice. Uh, $1 million or 1 million people? You,
Wow.
you first, Brandon. Would you rather have $1 million or 1 million people?
A million people, if they paid me $1 a month, I'd be a millionaire month over month.
Yeah, yeah. That's one way. That's one way. But think about just 1% of that. If you could get 1% to take you up on $100 offer, 1% of 1 million. I don't know the math on that. It's like 10,000, right? Maybe
It's 100,000.
it's 100,000. It's 10%.
1% of a million is 1,000.
Yeah.
1% of 1 million is 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and to have 100 taking you up on that is 10,000,
100,000.
100,000,
Yeah.
100,000. That's not enough.
A month?
Oh
It's
yeah,
not.
if it's a month, yeah, yeah. What about you, Laura? A million, a million.
1 million people or $1 million. Yeah, probably 1 million people, because I will tell you, my income has changed. It changes and goes up all the time, right? And then you still realize it's like, I mean, I eat about the same food no matter how much money I make. Like, I'm still gonna buy the Wagyu, I'm still gonna buy the New York strip, I'm still gonna buy all the stuff I was gonna buy, no matter
Mm-hmm.
what. Probably gonna live in the same basic place I live in. So what is it that I'm looking for, right? I'm looking for this life experience change. I'm looking for mindset change. And it starts with other people, other
Mm,
good people. So I want 1 million good people, 1 million good people that are better than I could ever be at anything. Because now all of a sudden it's like inertia. One of the things that I've always struggled with is just like being more active, just like being more, more in shape, right?
mm,
And like now all of a sudden I've got 1 million friends that were all really sporty and maybe just really intact with that, not just by influence. Maybe I don't even have to talk to them that much, but I just see them so often that I'm
mm,
like, okay, the example is there. So 1 million people is a better way to get the things that you really want, because what we're chasing after is not the money. Like, even if you gave me $1 million today, like, could that really buy me a 6 pack of abs today? No, I still have to put in the work. So that
yeah.
means I still need to have people of influence. And then eventually what happens is those people, those are people that should know you, right? Because if they know you, they'll flow you. So
Yeah.
it's about who
Yeah.
can transact with you and who, not just any 1 million people. It's,
Right.
you have to figure out what do you want, right? Because what we actually all want is not the money. We want something that gets us the money. We want the thing after the money. So figure out exactly what you want. I know for me, it's like, good. I want just exceptional health, um, and just to master myself. That's my thing. I want to go and master myself more and more every day. I work on that consistently, but how do I do that even more? And now, if all of a sudden I'm around somebody that a million people that do that, and they're real examples, then I'm like, I'm even more inspired. I'm like, oh my god, like that is better. That's what I want with $1 million. I don't want the $1 million. I want the transformation of the $1 million.
Yeah, yeah. It's the transformation we want, right? It's the change we want. And but I like some things that Grant says about when you get the money, then you can do those things. And he even jokes and says that, to a certain extent, you know, money can buy you love. If you mess up and you show up with 5 dozen roses instead of 1 dozen, you're gonna be forgiven a lot faster. You show up with 8 dozen roses, it's a whole lot better than just a dozen roses. No, it's I love that, man. I love it. I love it. One thing we were talking about is being, okay, so the books that I read and the things that I listen to are a lot of self-development, personal sales and marketing training. But I said to myself that I need to actually broaden those things that I expose myself to and watch more television. Watch more television. For
Oh
me,
god.
yeah, well, for me, watching more television is for storytelling. Um, I think you learn a lot when the way you look at television, you learn a lot about the structure of telling stories, which in marketing is important, right, Brandon?
It is. Stories are what sell. And I mean, the second part of the basic framework to selling anything is story. You got a hook, which brings them in. Story keeps them engaged, and then you have the offer at the end that closes everything down. So without a good story and getting people emotionally involved, it's just a thing that anything can have. You just walk down the street and maybe you'll buy it, maybe you won't, but you see
Mm-hmm.
that puppy dog in the window,
Yeah.
you start creating the story yourself and how that puppy dog got there, you feel bad for it, and then you go buy it. So I mean, it's there's always a story behind anything that you do.
Yes. I think Dan Kennedy's coming out with a book called Magnetic Story Selling. I I recently did an interview with the author of the book called Sell Like Jesus. And a lot
Yeah,
of the
how did it go?
it went great. It went great. A lot of the premise of the book talks, it makes parallels between Jesus Christ being a salesperson and having affiliates around him. Uh, I say affiliates, but I mean just his.
Having affiliates. I got John, my affiliate over there in Nazareth. I got I don't even know the 12 apostles, but I think John and Luke and
David, Paul.
David.
I'm sorry,
I don't know. I know some of these biblical
Brandon.
names.
Let's go to our resident Bible expert,
Expert.
What
Brandon.
about what you want to know who all the disciples are?
Yes, putting you
I
on
don't
the
know.
spot.
I don't know them all. It's terrible, but Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Simon, Judas. So there's what, six? I don't know the other six. It's terrible.
Wow.
Yeah.
I got half.
Yeah.
You're 5X.
Yeah, I got half.
Yeah. But there were parallels that the book draws, and how much of a storyteller that Jesus was. So I'm opening up to the possibility that I need to watch more television, and I need to be a little more in tune with what's current.
Mhm.
And being able to see what people are actually watching and responding to now, can help me to formulate a lot of the content that I produce. I don't know if, just to be open out there about one of my goals this year, what I just, my YouTube channel, I just went over the 1,000 subscribers, but I'm lacking the watch hours for the channel, right? And I have to basically 10x my watch hours, 10x the watch hours, and that's the amount of hours that people are, the time that people are watching my videos. I'm it's pretty interesting to see that I did some research, and the research that I was doing on some of the top channels for getting live viewers, and uh, what I and then I put a plan in place, and I said, okay, let me try this, and I did that over the past week, and it's pretty awesome to see. You learn something, you put it into practice, and then you look at the end and you see that there was an improvement made. I took the watch time to 76%, 76, and I think over 80 something percent for two of my last videos. And that is great. They say that once you get over 70% watch time, that's really when YouTube starts to push your video out to more. And I think the average view time on those videos was like 24 minutes on one, and I think 36 minutes on another. So that was a real nice win for me over the past week, along with some other stuff. But let's talk about what's a win that you had, Laura, or something that you learned from outside of the world of sales, marketing, performance, that you applied and saw some results in it.
Something recent I would say is, well, a couple of things, but you know, something recent that I've started doing a little more is getting out into the community a little more, and generally
Mhm.
just trying to make friends and go and do things, right? Because I've lived in Raleigh close to 2 years now, and I felt like I never leave my house
Oh,
because I'm
really?
always on calls or I'm always doing something or working, and I'm starting to think, huh, that's not 10x, right? I need to, if I'm going to be 10x, like that involves people. It's not just me and like Grant on the phone. It's real people out there. So this past weekend, my boyfriend and I got invited to go to this hockey game, and
Ah,
went to this hockey game, right? When I went to this hockey game, I'm like, oh, I've never sat still for an entire hockey game. I've seen highlights on TV, but I've never seen a hockey game. So
really?
when we get to, yeah, I just, dude, I cannot sit still. It's me. But not even that. Not even that. I never had interest in it. But I really pushed myself mentally to stay focused and try to understand the game. And when we got to the fourth period, I realized that one of the strategies that they use
Uh,
to try to win the game is in hockey, it's just about how many people you have on the ring.
uh-huh.
So the team of the fourth quarter to try to gain momentum and speed and try to win the game, they didn't have a goalie in the fourth quarter. So they could have
Ah,
an extra man out in the ring, you know, playing defense. And I found that so fascinating because as soon as that happened, I like glanced and I was talking to my friend who like knows about hockey. I was like, "Where's their goalie?" They're like, "Oh, they don't need it in the fourth quarter, and actually they don't need it any quarter if they can choose to do that, but it's for an entire quarter to be more aggressive and play defense and try to go and score." I was like, "Wow, that's a different way to structure a deal." So
Mm,
when I go out into the world, my mind thinks of like, how is somebody structuring a deal? Because either way you slice it, we're all trying to win at something, right? So
mm-hmm,
it's so interesting to see in the world how winning manifests in different ways.
mm-hmm.
So for me, it's just like what I've been doing in the world, especially when I go somewhere, is how does this lead to whoever is doing something to win, and why are they
Yeah,
doing what they're winning? So it kind of goes back to that storytelling because those actions tell you a story.
yeah.
How do you structure a deal, right? So that's really maybe something that I've been doing recently here.
Ah, nice. You have a story like that, Brandon?
I wish I did.
You
I
watch
really don't. What's
you
that?
like going to the movies, right? You volunteer at the movies?
I do. I mean, I guess, I mean, it's sales and marketing related. I mean, there's a huge Christian revival movement that's slowly taking place. If you paid attention to anything that's happened down in the Kentucky area,
A what revival? I didn't hear that word.
Christian revival.
Oh, okay, okay.
So if you've been paying any attention to what's going on down in Kentucky, there's a revival taking place there. And then just recently, Jesus Revolution has been released. It's going into its second week here, and I'm looking at it from an entire marketing lens.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Uh, this revival happened in the 70s. It's still going today. I mean, the church is still alive today out there in California. And they recently just made a movie about the story of what happened in the 70s with, the Jesus Revolution and, the turning of the hippies into Jesus people.
Mm,
So Wednesday night was a special showing, and it was an entire deal to, be a calling to, join the church and find Jesus and things like that. So I just find it fascinating with the movie being the sales letter, so to speak, and then the call to action at the very end of the movie. If you were able to watch it on Wednesday, you would be
mm,
able to see that. Can't see it now because there's only a special showing there. But just
uh,
that whole, um, just the whole deal now that it's drawing more people into this movement, and the pastor Greg Laurie. I've looked him up on YouTube. He has 600,000 subscribers now. I haven't checked his numbers lately, but I'm sure within the next 2 to 3 weeks, it'll probably double, if not triple,
mm,
just based on being able to have the funding and things like that that was picked up to tell the story and the things that are going on around. So, I mean, sales marketing is everywhere if you know how to put your ear to the ground and look at it and copy it and emulate it and do the thing. The church even has a free lead magnet. You sign up and they'll send you a Bible, you know.
a
So
lead magnet, huh?
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's if you look at, I mean, I know it's difficult to speak of religion in the
Business.
sense of sales and marketing and things like that, but I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, it's what it is. You tithe, you give the donation to have the healing and the place of worship and things like that. It's all community based and driven, but it costs money. Everything costs money, regardless of what you do and how you do it and things like that. It costs money. You have to exchange
Mhm.
something of value to get value back.
And the same
You know,
thing with the church. If the church didn't market, they would have an empty church.
right? And if you're looking at Jesus, he's the greatest masterminder of all time. He brought 12 people together to teach them the word, to teach them how to spread the word and grow the movement, so to speak. So, um, great lessons all around from that aspect.
Ah, yes, I agree. Um, it's just that yeah, I you can find when you are passionate about something and you find your passion in other things, and that's when you really start to find loose relations. Well, maybe not even loose relations, but maybe tighter relations than you thought in other fields or other activities. You're learning all the time, Laura. I think we were talking about something that was in the news lately about this court case, and I thought it was interesting some of the things you found on that court case, Laura. But what I want to know about the court case, you want to talk about the court case a little bit, Laura?
Listen, it's so funny, right? There's this guy named Alec Murdoch, and I'm sure lots of people have heard about it now. I mean, literally millions. And it goes back to that question that Grant was saying. Do you want 1 million people or $1 million? What do you want, right? Because now he's got millions, maybe billions of eyes on him.
Mm-hmm.
And it's for bad reasons, right? Because he stole this money, he killed his family, and now he's going through this huge murder trial. I think something that captivates me of that is just realizing exactly that. Somebody like that maybe was looked out. People looked up to him and really, it was like, wow, this guy is so rich, he's so famous, he's a lawyer, he's winning his cases, and then you end up finding out he was a negative 10x, right? He was negative 10x, and somebody like that, I just remember, it's like, wow, do I, who am I, right? Those kind of things remind you of your humanity and your ethics. I mean, I'm like, man, if I say something a little too aggressive to a customer, I feel terrible. How does somebody's ethics and somebody's just goodwill wear down so fast? I don't know. For me, it kind of sucked me in a little bit, and it's unlike me because I'm a very good. I'm just work, grant, and I'll do a bunch of motivational books. Jackie, hang out with my boyfriend, and I listen to church online, and that's it. I don't let anything else in my mind. And this thing just captivated me so deeply that I'm just like, how is this defensible? This guy really murdered his children and his wife or whatever. And then you start realizing, so, and something my boyfriend told me, he's like, you realize that money buys you the truth. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, money buys you the truth. It's about how you depict the story. They in a case, they just need to have reasonable doubt. They don't need to prove it didn't happen, just reasonable doubt. I was like, what? You're telling me the truth and lies are defendable? He's like, yeah.
It's almost like, what is the truth? And I was listening to someone the other day, and they moved from the lawyer field to being an online entrepreneur, and they said that nothing prepares you more for being a salesperson than being an attorney or a lawyer. Can you see the parallel between the two, Brandon?
Yeah, I mean, you got to be able to one, speak with conviction and believe what you're saying, and then be able to use that and convince other people to kind of follow and believe you're speaking the truth. And that's all sales is just talking to people and writing stuff down. So if you're good at talking with people, telling a story, providing facts, or facts as you see them to be facts.
That's it. Yeah. It's the facts are the facts, but the story that you tell around the facts, and what you're doing is you are stacking the evidence in your favor, or stacking it into your favor. Now, doesn't that sound like sales? When somebody comes into a situation and they're saying, oh, this is not going to work for me, or maybe I can't do it, or my spouse, or I won't have time, and then you present a case on how they do have time, how their spouse will be okay with it. I could see the parallel. Is that and go ahead, Brandon?
Yeah, I mean, that's 100% on the mark.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, but you're right. It does prepare you to be a salesperson, which almost begs the question, right? I'm sometimes thinking like, should I watch more of these cases? Because then you start seeing how people defend the truth and how what kind of word choices they use and words really matter, especially when you're talking to somebody that you're closing and when you're interviewing a witness or when you're talking to the judge, words matter. And what does the defense and what does the prosecution say? Objection, right? And it's like when you're talking to the customer, they're like, whenever they pause or whenever they don't think something's right, that is your objection. So there's the parallels are
Yeah.
there. Yeah, no, I've been intrigued. I know today is the final uh conclusion argument. So hope this son of a bitch goes to jail. Sorry, but I had to say it.
Uh-oh, I'm gonna have to beep that out, Laura. Yeah, it's a real thing that they detect those words and then they start to suppress the the content. But I
You can edit it.
oh yeah. I hey, you know what? It's great to see you emotional about something because at least you've got some some passion behind it. It might be wrong and directed wrong. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just joking.
Well, no, I think why I
I'm
find it so wrong is because it's wow, like I can't believe somebody would do that when I know for me it's like okay, good, I'm getting up early. I'll take calls at 7. Last night I was on a call till almost 10 p.m. for almost 2 hours with a customer. So all of a sudden it makes you realize, okay, I mean, going up is hard. I mean, it's not easy. If it was
Mm-mm.
easy, everybody would do it. Going to the right places, it's hard work and you got to earn it and you got to go through these battles of pushing yourself. And that is good because you've got to earn it.
Right. It goes back to what what I was told when I was young. They said, "What did we come to America to do?"
Succeed. Yeah, my mom used to tell me that every day when I was walking to the bus. Hey, what did we come to America to do? Succeed. Yeah, yeah. I was a little chant when I was a kid.
Yeah, and we get the opportunity here, but I don't, you know, I think we have more opportunity here than a lot of other places, and it's kind of crazy to see people that still want to go around that opportunity, and still feel as though they can't get it uh fairly. They have to make it a or just going out there and taking what somebody else worked hard for. That's a completely different kind of just ridiculousness. That's going into you know yeah, it didn't start there. It probably started way before. So more than likely, I haven't kept up with that trial, but that's probably interesting. I just hope for justice. All right. All right. Here we are at the end of another episode. Gonna miss you guys over the week, but thanks for tuning in. We appreciate all you out there. Man, we used to only get tens of views. Now we're getting hundreds of views on a regular basis. So thanks for watching. Want to just throw a shout out there to everyone watching. And then say see you again. Well, Brandon, say goodbye. Say goodbye, Laura.
Hey, it's a pleasure as always chatting with you guys this week. We covered a good number of topics from the Closer Survival Guide and the Unbreakable Challenge from the previous week and GrowthCon. So
Yeah.
it's always great to chat about those things and bring real life situations into our conversations.
Yeah, and practice. Laura.
Pitch practice forever. Hey, this is one of the things I look forward to every single day. This kind of consistency. It's such a part of a healthy environment that I've created with myself and with you guys. So thank you so much for being a part of it. And I was gonna say, Mark, you gotta share the crawfish, share the leads. You get hundreds of views. Where are my leads? That's all I gotta say.
All
Where are
right, that's
Brandon's leads?
see you later, everybody.
Take care.
Bye, everybody.